just based off the first episode, I think this is an 8 out of 10 already, like off the bat. Like, I think it's that good. My expectations were actually kind of low for this show. It exceeded my expectations for sure, and I think already it's an 8 out of 10.
So I'm going to go a little bit higher. First episode, I'm going to give it a 9.
All
I'm going
right.
to give it a 9 out of 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Popcorn Talks. As you can see, we're back in our setups. Kind of disappointing, but we want to make sure that whenever we go back to our in-person setups, which is literally 10 feet away, that we actually have some good quality audio, good, better camera, better lighting. So until we save up for that, we're going to do this because it's just better for the audio only. And honestly, overall, to be honest with you. But anyways... Today we're going to talk about some Tulsa King, which is Sylvester Stallone's new show that's on Paramount Plus. 1 episode per week is releasing. We just watched episode 1. It's amazing. We're going to talk about that. And then Stranger Things has some news, and then a few other things that we'll dive into. But yeah, Cren.
Yep, so we're going to talk about, like you said, Tulsa King. Probably the surprise show of the year for me through 1 episode. Like you said, Stranger Things news. And then as far as other topics, we have a new show coming out this week that we are incredibly excited about. We'll share a little bit more about that with you in a minute. But don't forget, join our Discord. We're creating a good community there. We're going to be setting up movie nights. We're going to be setting up different channels for you to talk theories and your favorite shows with other people. Follow us on Twitter. Follow us. Subscribe to our YouTube. If you are an Apple, Spotify, 5-star review. But let's get into it. So we watched Tulsa King. If you missed it, guys, Tulsa King is a brand new show. It's out on Paramount Plus. It's actually coming out weekly, so a little bit different if you're used to the binge watch. I actually kind of prefer it this way. It gives me something to look forward to. But it's a new show, Sylvester Stallone. It's a show about a former mafia member, or a mafia member gets locked up, goes to prison for 25 years. The show starts with him being released and his kind of story. From there, obviously Tulsa's tied into it. We'll get into that. But Relay, dude, first thoughts. What first impression? Give it a number rating before you say anything, and then back it up.
A number rating? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, just based off the first episode, I think this is an 8 out of 10 already. Like, off the bat. Like, I think it's that good. But I didn't really have... My expectations were actually kind of low for this show. Because you watched the trailer and it was kind of confusing. It didn't really explain much. But after watching the first episode, I was like, wow, I did not expect this. This is actually like... This is awesome. I mean, you don't even realize it's Sylvester Stallone, like, acting. Like, that's how good it is. And it kind of left on a cliffhanger as well, which is exciting. But if you guys haven't checked this show out, it's on Paramount Plus. You need to watch it. I mean, it exceeded my expectations for sure. And I think already it's an 8 out of 10. I need to see more before, like, I give it a higher score or lower score or whatever.
Yep. And Paramount, feel free to sponsor us. We'd love to carry the water for you guys. My first impressions, I'm gonna go a little bit higher. First episode, I'm gonna give it a 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Now the show might not be overall, but just the first episode, it was fantastic. Yeah. I was incredibly surprised. I knew it. So the show does a really good job of teetering between the lines of a lighthearted, easy to watch sitcom type show with a very dark theme, such as Ozark. Like Ozark is the same type of show, or the same type of story, but a completely different vibe. Incredibly dark. There's the whole time you're watching it, you just feel stressed. Tulsa King takes those same concepts and removes the stress and kind of makes it light. So the first episode to me was perfect. To like, I have not been wanting to start a new show because I don't want to mentally just, like, you know what I mean? Sometimes starting a whole new show, you have to mentally be into it. You have to pay attention to every little thing. This isn't like that. It's super light, but the story is fantastic. The story is fantastic.
I'm really excited, like, how deep they go with it. Because, like, he's a mafia boss. He just walks into every place and just he owns the place right away. Like right then and there, everybody knows like this guy's legit. So I'm excited like what he does what he does from here. I mean, he just got out of prison 25 years, so the story's already in a good spot.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
Yeah.
excited to see where they go with it.
Yeah, no, and I'm excited. I'm also my worry is that the first few episodes can be carried off of plotline. You can write a good pilot and you can have it carry. Just if you have a unique concept, which is this is a unique concept. So guys, if you haven't watched it, some spoilers will try to stay away. It's not really something you can spoil. We only watched one episode, so um, I would recommend you watch it first, but it starts out with him being released from prison. He took the fall for basically his boss and some of the family in the mafia. And he gets out and he's expecting a warm welcome back. And they basically shun him and are like, you need to go take over Tulsa, Oklahoma. Which, in the show, they explain in Tulsa, there is no drug trafficking. There's no, quote, mafia. There's none of that like there is in New York where he was. So he goes to a small city, country type of city in Oklahoma, and it's a very unique concept for a show. So all of a sudden, like, right off the bat, is very good. The acting is superb, so I'm not worried about that. But I'm worried that once you get into the deeper storylines and they have to start developing side stories along with the main story, you just never know. You never know how
Yeah.
good
I mean, it's a story
the
set
writing's
in
going to be.
Tulsa, Oklahoma, so that's why
Yeah,
my expectations were low, to be honest with you. But like you said, he just walks in there and he thinks that it's like New York, but it's not like New York. So it's just like a whole different. Like that's why I said I'm interested to see how they develop this because
yeah,
it's Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's just a small town
yeah,
that has nothing going on, and they mentioned that in the show. They emphasize that. Like he's like, "Why you sending me to Tulsa?"
yeah. And Sylvester Stallone does a fantastic job. I know Sylvester Stallone as Rocky Balboa, and I forgot throughout the entire show that was Rocky Balboa. That's how good of a job he did. Sometimes it's hard when you see certain actors in a certain way to view them outside of that specific role they play, and I had no problems with that. He did a great job. They also did a really good job of setting up characters in this first episode that are going to be important. I believe his name is Tyson, the cab driver. He's obviously going. You can tell right off the bat he's going to be a loved character. He's going to be the comedic relief when you need it. When Dwight is out there, punching people in the face, killing people, and just doing whatever he wants, you're going to have the comedic relief of Tyson right off that. And there's already going to be some sort of love interest and problem with the girl he hooked up with. So
Yeah,
yeah, I was excited. I thought there was going to be two episodes off the bat and then weekly releases. So when the first episode ended and I couldn't watch episode two, I was incredibly upset,
same.
which tells me that it was a very good pilot episode.
Oh yeah, like that cliffhanger is going to lead into some interesting storylines. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was
I
good.
mean, I'm excited. Like I said, 9 out of 10. The next episode comes out. It comes out every Sunday on Paramount Plus, which is perfect for me because for the first 3 months, the last 3 months, I've been watching House of the Dragon every Sunday. It ended a couple weeks back, so it'll be nice to throw that routine back in. And yeah, I'm excited to continue to watch. I would highly recommend it, guys, if you're looking for something to watch. Tulsa King, Paramount Plus. And if you want to discuss it, join our Discord, DM us, leave a 5-star review as well. But speaking of new shows, another new show is coming out this week, November 17th, which is an odd day because I believe that's Thursday. Typically, Netflix shows come out on Friday, but it is a brand new Netflix original, 18.99. Some of you might have heard us talk about it before, but we're gonna go over it just for a brief second before we get into some Stranger Things news. But 18.99. Relay, I want to hear. So we know IMDb gave
Well,
us some
okay,
pretty.
so yeah, I want to explain it kind of because we talked about the show before, but we didn't talk about this because this is like huge. This is massive. This is more than anything. I did not realize this. Kren, I know, did not realize this, But when we looked at the show on IMDb, we seen that the ratings were pretty big or whatever. But then we looked at the pilot episode. 9.7 out of 10. Do you guys realize what we are dealing with here? That is better. I'm pretty positive that's better than any Stranger Things episode ever. I'm pretty sure the highest Stranger Things episode is like a 9.6. So to say that the pilot episode is a 9.7, right away my expectations are through the roof. And that's not a good thing, because it's hard to reach my expectations nowadays, but it's a mystery show. It seems dark. There's supernatural stuff, so it's right up my alley. But to say that it's a 9.7 out of 10 right away, that is a bold statement, so they better live up to this hype, because I don't know. I mean, 9.7 out of 10 by critics is just insane.
And just to clarify, IMDb, sorry, I hit my mic. Apologize for that. IMDb, so I know pre-releases are always iffy because it gets some, it's going to have the bulk of its reviews once it's released, so that could change. I remember episode 7 of Stranger Things, when it came out, episode 7 for season 4 pre-release was given a perfect 10 out of 10.
Okay.
And then, it drops down once more reviews come in and more people can go in and review it. But so, yeah, but still, that's unbelievable, because again, Stranger Things, most of their shows started lower and then went higher as more votes came in. So a 9 out of 7, even at this stage in the game, or 9.7 out of 10, it's unbelievable. And we've been excited about it. We've kind of hyped it because the type of show it is up our alley personally, and it's a show that you can really make theories on and theorize about. But
that being said, we still don't really know. Like, we know what it's about, but we don't know what it's about, if that makes any sense at all. Like, the only thing we know is face value from the trailer. That's all we know. There isn't, like, they didn't put out teasers, they didn't put out this, they didn't put out that. Like, there's not a whole entire storyline explanation of it. There's not a summary. It's just the trailer. Like, the trailer, and, it's on a ship. They're going to be going in this, it seems like a wormhole or whatever you want to call it. And they're going to have to solve a riddle. There's supernatural stuff happening on the ship, and people are being held hostage. So, like, that's what we know. But, like, we don't know that much, which is...
Well, also the trailer was super confusing, because the trailer, when you watch it, you really only see, one thing. But when you read the short summary that Netflix puts out, it's a ship leaves from Europe heading to America. And in the waters, they actually come across another ship. And the other ship is what leads to these supernatural things happening. And the people on board have no clue what's going on, and we in the audience also have no clue what's going on. And it's also listed under horror genre, so it's going to be, along with being supernatural and mystery type, it is going to have some scary moments to it. Now, for me, I'm wondering if that's going to be Stranger Things scary, because that is also like horror, or if it's going to be like actually scary. I would assume more along the lines of Stranger Things, but we'll see.
I would agree. But like the pilot episode was 9.7, but what's even almost just as impressive is the whole entire show. I'm pretty sure is rated a 9.2. I'm not positive on that. I might need to check, but I think it's a 9.2 out of 10. Like, all 8 episodes so far are rated a 9.2. I'm gonna check that real quick. Just the fact check.
And so, guys, also to get you a little bit more hyped, a lot of you might be fans of Dark on Netflix. Dark was a Netflix show released a few years back. There's been 3 seasons of it. $18.99 is from the creators of Dark. So the storyline is more than likely going to include some time travel-ish, time warp type of things, along with some very dark themes to it. So I'm super excited. But go ahead.
It's a 9.1. So that's still insane. It was probably 9.2. More ratings probably came in, and it's lowered a little bit, but still, anything above an 8, first of all, on IMDb is like considered fantastic, if I'm not mistaken. So like having it above a 9, I mean, I don't know. I hope these critics aren't over exaggerating this. All right, sorry about that, guys. My light literally just fell and knocked it from my fan. That's off topic. But anyways, what we were talking about is $18.99. I forget what we left off on, but it's a 9.1 out of 10 out of IMDb. So our expectations are out through the roof, and we're hoping that our expectations don't get crushed and it's bad. So I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, no, me too. And I don't know. So they're releasing. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're releasing every episode at once. Correct?
I'm
It's
pretty
not weekly
positive. Yeah,
releases.
it's
Or
that.
it's not. It's not parts.
Yeah, it's not a part.
And the weird part to me is it's coming out on Thursday. Most Netflix releases come out on Friday. I don't know the reason for that. There might be some holiday on Friday that I'm not aware of or thinking about. But yeah, that comes out Thursday, November 17th. So whenever you're listening to this, it might already be out, might be coming out soon. Who knows? We will be doing a podcast specifically on that. So make sure to subscribe or follow us depending on where you are here. And we'll have that out Friday for you guys to kind of go over it, give theories, first reactions, let you know if you should watch it, all that kind of stuff. But another thing coming out later this month that we've been excited about, we've also been hyping a little bit, is Wednesday. It's the new Adams Family spinoff type of spoof. It's Jenna Ortega. It's coming out November 23rd, I believe.
Yep.
And that's going to be interesting because Relay and I will actually be gone. We'll be visiting family for Thanksgiving when that comes out. So either we're going to do something remote for you guys or we're going to get something a few days later once that comes out. Probably the latter, but we'll figure it out for you
Yeah,
guys.
I
But
mean, I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not like as excited for that show as I am 1899, just because like I don't know, it's
yeah.
kind of a weird, different story than what I'm used to.
Yeah, and I'm excited because the reason I'm excited is because I know how Netflix works. I'm scared about how they're going to put together 1899 because I haven't seen much advertising for it. I haven't seen much marketing for it. Wednesday, on the other hand, no matter where you look, it's everywhere. They have multiple, they have ads all over Hulu, which is kind of funny. They have Spotify ads. They have ads, TV ads
I
for it.
mean, they had YouTube trailers in June about it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like,
And this is a massive franchise. Adam's Family is one of the greatest movies and TV shows and franchises of all times. It's the it's the godfather of horror films, and so I am very hopeful just because I think Netflix knows that this is a big project. So even if it's not like my cup of tea as far as a storyline, as far as a type of show, I think they wouldn't screw it up. So you could take anything, and if you give it great dialogue, great writing, and then great acting, it's going to be enjoyable no matter what. Even if it's something like comedy, I'm not a huge comedy person, but if it's a good movie or a good show, it's good. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I'm excited just because I think the cast is stacked, and I don't think they would ruin it, because of how big of a deal this is in pop culture. But I guess we'll see. I don't know. I really have no clue what to expect.
same. My expectations are non-existent when it comes to Wednesday because I don't know. I don't. I've never watched any of the Adams Family's films or shows, so I have no idea what
Yeah.
to expect.
Yeah, and the thing that I'm not looking forward to it is that it is like a horror comedy type of show, and that's always iffy to me because that's a very difficult concept to tackle. Like anytime you're taking something that at moments is kind of like scary dark and then is also a ton of comedic relief in it, that I don't know. We'll see. And that's the whole Adams Family shtick, which I'm not a huge fan of, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. It comes out later, but transitioning a little bit, we do have a little bit of news on Stranger Things. Just to preface you guys, Relay is a Stranger Things content creator, so he's gonna take every little piece he gets and just blow it up like it's the biggest news. Just to preface for you guys, it's really not very big news at all, but we're gonna go over it, and I'm gonna let the Stranger Things man himself tell us. What
Okay,
do we
so
got?
this morning, it was reported that the Duffer Brothers have finished writing the script for episode one. So a lot of people were kind of confused about that. They thought they had season five, like the script written out. They had the outline of the storyline written out. They didn't have the script written out. So like they
The
had,
story and the script are two completely different things. The story's been sold and done since 2016, whenever they sold it to Netflix. So I don't mean to cut you off, but people need to realize that the story and the actual script and dialogue in each little episode is very, they're two different things.
Yeah.
But continue.
So they just finished the episode 1 script, but they finished it 2 weeks ago, which was kind of confusing to me. I don't know what they've been doing for the last 2 weeks, but that's just something that we're never going to find out anyways. So now they're starting on doing the other episodes, episode 2 obviously now, but he said that they're going to go full steam ahead and they're going to try to get this out, way faster than they did with season 4. So that's positive news. I'm still expecting a 2024 release date. That doesn't really change my POV on that, but you can do with that as you will. But other news is, in an interview, he said that in season 5, it's going to be a different vibe with all the adults and the citizens of Hawkins, because they're going to be aware that this isn't just a earthquake. This isn't just the government. This is actually like some type of supernatural stuff. And I'm assuming that means that the parents that have been involved since day 1 are going to know what's going on. So he said from that aspect, season 5 is going to be a lot different. It's going to have a different vibe to it. So I'm actually very excited about that, because it's kind of been not annoying, but it's been very like sort of frustrating to see like Ted and Karen not have any idea what's going on, but blaming the kids for this and that. So now finally they'll realize what these kids have been dealing with for the past 6 years, hopefully. So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I just want to see Ted's face when he
I know.
realizes it's not some,
It's not the government conspiracy.
it's not the government conspiracy that he thinks it is, and rah rah USA.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how because they've done a really good job of using his aloofness as comedy. So I know they'll make some jokes out of that. But yeah, no, that's super interesting, and I think you could kind of assume that, because I think when one thing happens, it's easy to cover it up and tell the people this happens. Then then the mall things happen, and they tell everybody it burns down. People come back, multiple people come back to life, like Will going back. And so I think the people of Hawkins were already like, what is going on? And then we see at the end of season 4, the whole place splits open, and it's freaking lava and ash and
Yeah.
fire. Like at some point, you gotta understand something else is happening here, right? Like
Yeah.
it's pretty obvious, but it's nice to have that confirmation, because I think that would be pretty bad writing if the people of Hawkins did believe that it was just some earthquake
And
or
they just
something.
never find out and it ends that way. That would suck. So I'm kind of excited about that. That's gonna be
Yeah,
nice to have that different vibe going into season 5. It's not just the kids who are dealing with this; it's everyone who's dealing with this for
yeah,
once. But yeah, that's pretty much all the news that we got for that today. Which, yeah, like Kren said, it's not the biggest news, but it's news. The fact that they're going to go
news.
full steam ahead on the script writing, like maybe they'll get that done by the new year. Or maybe they won't get done till spring. Like, who knows? But whenever they do get done, I'm assuming that's when filming's gonna start being scheduled, and they're gonna get that rolled out. And then who knows? Maybe a late 2023 release date isn't out of the question just yet. Who knows? I mean, I think it is, but Kren doesn't think it is. So we can only hope.
No, I'm the one who's been saying for a while that I think fall 2023 might actually be on the table. I don't know. Everybody's so quick to rule it out, because I think COVID has like changed our mindset on when a show should be released and how long it takes to produce. And don't get me wrong, it takes time, but also when these shows like Stranger Things like have such a big budget, I think Netflix, because Netflix, they have studios and they outsource studios and they have creative teams, and it's not like Netflix HQ producing Stranger Things. It's they have layers and layers and layers, and the creative team creating Stranger Things, they're getting heat from Netflix like, hey, we need to get this out, like you're on a deadline here. So I think COVID changed that. COVID changed our mindset, because things took 2, 3 plus years to do, because they couldn't do anything for an entire year. They had to scrap their work. They had to rewrite scripts because actors got older, looked different, things happened. So like I think that completely changed. Now, all this to say, it could still very well be summer 2024, which is I think the common belief, but I'm just saying, do not close the book on fall or Christmas 2023. I think it is a possibility.
I'm not closing the
Um,
book on the January 1st, 2024 release date on New Year's. I'm not closing the book on that. I think that's a good possibility.
yeah, yeah, no, for sure. It would be weird though because I think Stranger Things in a perfect world with like a Halloween release date. I genuinely believe that, but I believe that if they have to wait till 2024, they wouldn't. Here's the thing: if they can release it on January 1st, more than likely they could push it and get it out in October. That's a month and a half. That's 2 months difference. So really a month and a half. Well, no, it's 2 months, a little over 2 months. But if they have to wait till 2024, they're not going to wait till past summer. So it would again be a summer release date. But I don't know. I mean, January 1st, that's, a New Year's release date's a possibility. I think that Netflix is iffy about releasing it on holidays that you typically go out, though. Like you've seen them release it on 4th of July, which is a holiday that typically you stay in with your family and you cook and you do things. Christmas, you're typically in. New Year's, you're typically out at the bars. Everybody's out. People aren't home as much. So I think they would be a little iffy on that. But I mean, look, I don't work for Netflix. I don't know what they're thinking. So
Yeah.
I don't
It's all
know. But
speculation.
but here's one thing we do know. Stranger Things 5 is coming. And when it does, we'll have content for you right here on Popcorn Talks. So make sure to leave a 5-star review. Make sure to follow us. Make sure to subscribe, depending on where you are. Another show coming out that we haven't actually talked about. And I'm about to throw you a kind of a curveball here because I'm not sure if you're aware of it. I just became aware of it today. It is a show called Lockwood and Co. So Lockwood and Company comes out January 2023. So, less than 2 months away. So it is one of their, like, Netflix has different sorts of, like shows. They have low budget shows. This is one of their few like major high budget shows they have releasing in 2023. Let's see if I can get a cast up real quick. It's Ruby Stokes, Cameron Chapman, Jack Bandiera. I don't actually know those people. They look
Neither.
familiar. It is a British fantasy series. See if I can get a little bit more information
Ooh,
on it
I'm
for you
excited about
guys.
this. Look at this. A girl with psychic abilities joins two teen boys on a ghost hunting agency, Lockwood and Co., to fight the deadly spirits plaguing London, doing their best to save the day without any adult supervision. So, psychic abilities right there. I mean, I'm hooked. So, that's January 27th, 2023, the first episode released. I wonder if that's a part one and part two. It doesn't say. Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I didn't know about that. I'm excited about that now. It's a detective fiction. That's the genre or theme of it. So right there, I mean, we got another mystery show coming our way in 2023.
We do. Yeah. Yeah, excited about that. I think, and again, guys, guess what? We'll have content on it for you.
Yep.
So if you want that content, join the Discord and follow us. Um, but yeah, no, so some great shows coming up across all platforms. Yellowstone season 5, I believe, was just released on, well, Paramount now, right? So it just released on Paramount yesterday.
I think
Correct me
it's
if I'm
doing.
wrong.
I think they're doing episode by episode as well, like on
Yeah,
Showtime.
no, yeah, no, they because they come out on network
Yeah,
television,
yeah.
so they definitely will be doing that. So if you want to watch that, guys, do it. If enough of you want to talk about it, we'll create a channel for it in our Discord to have conversations. For right now, I won't be a part of it, and at least right this second, Relay wouldn't be a part of that because neither one of us has watched it. I know he's planning on it. I want to, depending on when I can get to it. Things are pretty busy. But Yellowstone was released. Crown season 5 was also just released. It is currently the top 10 on Netflix, the daily top 10. It's been a top it for ever since it came out. However, Manifest season 4, its first 7 days actually outperformed The Crown in its first. So that's good news if you're a Manifest fan. I think Manifest is continuously building hype. It has over the course of the past couple years, and I'm excited to see where it goes. We have a lot of theories on that coming as well. We've already done some, so if you want to watch those, listen to it, go back and listen. And then, the other show at the top of the list is Love Is Blind, which reality show. I'm not a reality show with that kind of theme type of guy, although I got into The Bachelor for a few years. We're not going to talk about it. Dark time of my life was trying to impress a girl, but Anything? Is there anything I'm missing? Anything you're excited about specifically other than what we've talked about?
Um, I know there's a few shows in December, definitely a few movies. Alice in Borderland season 2, I think, releases in December. That's like a very small Netflix show.
Oh
I'm kind of
yeah,
excited about that. But yeah, other than that, no, not really. I'm very excited for 1899. I think that's gonna be. I think that has the potential to be like the next. I don't want to say Stranger Things, but it has the potential to be that next huge Netflix original that everybody's talking about for the next 3 months.
yeah. I think it has potential to go viral because show. You know what's funny is, in Stranger Things is not what I'm referring to here, but a lot of times the shows that go viral, especially in today's environment on TikTok, are not the best shows. Like
Cobra Kai.
their show. Do what?
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai. Well, their shows typically they just have like a story that people haven't seen before, or they have like so much mystery that people are content creators get into it because content creators chomp at it and they're like, oh, easy theories, easy edits, easy things to make. Like Breaking Bad, for example. In this, again, Breaking Bad's in the Stranger Things realm because it is worth its salt. But my point is, Breaking Bad, when it was actually out on AMC, wasn't that big. Like it was really big. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like people weren't considering it the greatest show of all time. Not even close to it. And then after its release, Better Call Saul was released, and then the younger generation started sharing it. And especially the last couple years, it's been really, really big on TikTok because it's so easy to make edits of Walter White because of how much of a badass he is, and it's so easy to do those edits and make it between Jesse and White. It's just a perfect show for that kind of content. So a lot of times you have to understand that the shows that are popping off on social media aren't always technically the best shows. They just are the easiest to make content on. And so that's kind of where we struggle, not struggle, but that's kind of where we're at right now too, because there are a lot of shows that we want to watch, but we're trying to watch stuff that you guys watch and that you guys like so we can make content on it and discuss it and break it down for you guys. But long-winded answer to say, I think that even if 1899 is not a great show, I think it's going to pop off. I think it's going to be that show that is going to sweep through Netflix. I mean, through Netflix, through TikTok and through Twitter. I think it's going to be trending. I think everyone's going to be talking about it, which is going to drive sales and drive watch time for it. I think it's going to be one of those shows that after a month or two goes by, they continuously get stronger in their watch time. Um, and look for it to possibly hit that top 10 chart for first 60 days on Netflix. We've seen some movement in there in the last year, and I think they're looking to continuously uproot some of their shows.
Well,
Nothing's going to touch Stranger
yeah,
Things, but
I think that that's the type of show because of the marketing that they've done, which is pretty much none. It's an interesting marketing strategy, believe it or not. Like they're not really talking about it that much because when it hits, everybody's gonna be like, "Whoa, what is this?" And everybody's gonna share it with their friends because they're not marketing it in the first place. So I think it's one of those shows that could be like on top of Netflix for like 3 months straight because people are finding out about it every single day. They're sharing it with their friends. Then their friends are sharing it with their friends, and I think it could be a trend for a fair amount of time because of how they've pretty much not hyped it up, but sort of hyped it up in a way. In at least like in the smaller community, they've hyped it up a lot because they're not hyping it up. If that makes any sense at all.
yeah, no, for sure. And I think you're exactly right. I think they haven't put much dollars into marketing, and I think that's because the story is they haven't really, even with their trailer, you don't learn much. So I think you're exactly right. That's part of what they're going for, and I'm assuming it's going to be one of those shows that the entire time you're watching it, you have no clue what's happening. It's going to be one of those. It's going to be. I keep telling people it's Inception meets Titanic. That's what the show looks like to me, or Shutter Island meets Titanic. I use Inception because more people are familiar with it, but yeah, with that being said, got a lot of content coming for you guys, a lot of new shows coming for you guys. But we're gonna be drafting our top four streaming platforms. So Hulu, Netflix, those kind of things. I'll get four, he'll get four. We're gonna let Relay go first. I think we know what he's going to take. Um, Kind of sucks, but I let him have it.
Yeah, so my number one is going to be Netflix because it has Stranger Things. I don't really need to say anything else. It's the number one. It's the face. So Netflix is my number one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna back off on that one. That's number one. I think some people might disagree, but those people are wrong. Netflix is absolutely the one overall. With my next pick, I don't know what to do because there's the one that people really like, but this is the one that I don't have a lot of favorites on. So I'm going to go with what I know and what I want. I'm gonna take Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. Okay. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I'm gonna take Disney Plus because Disney Plus has variety. It's got more variety than anything else here. It can play the 2, it can play the 3, it can play the 4, it can play the 5 relay. It can do whatever you want it to do. Taking Disney Plus.
All right, if you're gonna take Disney, I'm gonna take HBO Max. Recently, I've been watching a lot of shows and movies over there that I've really enjoyed. So, HBO Max, my number 2. I think I have a solid 1-2 with Netflix and HBO. Yeah, I'm very excited for this.
You just took, I don't know why you don't even watch the top shows on there. I did not expect that. You just played defensive and I'm mad now. That's a good pick. I mean, that's a good pick. Yeah. So I guess with my number 3, I got to take the one here that I don't necessarily love, but it's got a lot of good stuff on it. It's got a lot of good shows that aren't originals. It's got some popular originals too. I'm going to take Hulu. I think Hulu is the only play I could make there. I think that's the safe pick. Taking Disney Plus and Hulu, I think it's a good matchup for your Netflix and HBO. So,
Okay, you're gonna take Hulu. I'm gonna take a pick that people are probably like, oh, why didn't you take this instead? I'm gonna take Prime because I
yeah.
love the originals over there, and I think that's a solid pick at my number 3 spot. Has The Boys, has Terminal List, has some shows that I've watched. So Prime at my number 3. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good pick. That's exactly what I would have taken. Prime is he's a good role player. He's gonna get you far. But to combat your Prime, I could there's two that I'm thinking of. The double P's. I'm gonna take the first P though. I'm gonna go with Paramount Plus. I think Paramount. I think it has so many movies on it because it's freaking Paramount that it brings a lot. Paramount brings a lot to the table. It's getting more in the future. It's getting bigger. Plus Tulsa King's on it that we're watching right now, and a lot of other shows. So taking Paramount.
That's a good pick. To finish it off for me at my number 4 spot, I'm gonna go with Peacock. It has WWE and a few other huge shows that it picked up from other networks, The Office and stuff like that. So I think Peacock is the only pick I honestly could have gone with. So yeah, that's my number 4.
Yep. No, that's a great pick. I have, typically when we do these, I have issues with your picks. That's a, I think that's the perfect 4 that you could have taken compared, like, considering what I took after you. So great pick. I'm gonna wrap it up with Apple TV. It's the only one left on the board that I think is even worth being drafted. So Apple TV, it brings some character. They have some shows that are quasi popular, so I'll take it, and I won't complain. Let us know in the comments who you think won, and yeah, I I think it's a good matchup. I really do,
I
but
won.
I think losing Netflix for me, I think whoever got the first pick there was set up for success. And when I on my first pick, I had the opportunity. I think it was between Disney Plus and HBO, but I think Disney Plus, HBO has possibly the greatest show of all time, and then it has a few really really good ones, and then it has great movies. Disney Plus just has so much. Like it has all the Star Wars stuff, which I don't even watch. But if you're talking greatest shows, has all the Marvel movies, has all the Marvel shows. I had to go. I had to
Yeah.
go there.
No, I mean,
But
yeah, you were kind of screwed.
yeah, I mean Netflix carries that, and I know a lot of people disagree because they're like, "Oh, Netflix." Shut up. Netflix has the best production out of any company right now, and I will take that to my grave.
Agreed.
But with that being said, we are towards the end of the episode. Relay, any final thoughts?
I'm excited for Tulsa. I didn't say no and then talk. I've been doing that the last few episodes. But so I do have final thoughts. I'm excited for Tulsa King episode 2. I'm extremely excited for 1899. I'm moderately excited for Wednesday, and I'm hoping that we get more and more Sharing Things news as the months roll out. I hope we get a release date sometime in 2023. So Yeah, I'm excited on certain things like that and all the new shows that are coming out in 2023 as well. You, Outer Banks, and now Lockwood and Co. Got a lot of stuff to uncover there. So yeah, I'm very excited for the future.
Yep, me too. Most of it right now resides on Netflix because that's kind of what where our minds are. That's just who's producing some of the best shows right now. But we're watching other stuff as well. We're branching out, and we'll let you guys know what we think. But with that being said, follow us at Twitter at Popcorn Talks underscore TikTok everywhere else at Popcorn Talks Pod. The links to everything is in the description below. Leave us a 5-star review if you're on Apple, if you're on Spotify. It really helps. It just helps more than you could possibly know. Please just take 2 seconds out of your day to do that. 5 stars, doesn't matter what you say. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, notice on, you know what to do. Um, and with that being said, Relay, let the people know where they can find you.
At RelayTS and on socials, I'll be streaming some more here because the end of Fortnite, Chapter 3. But Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, those are my four main, I would say, at RelayTS, and Instagram at RelayTS. So yeah, that's where you can find me, at RelayTS anywhere.
Yep, and you can find me YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch as well. All at Crenbeast. You find it pretty easy. But yeah, that's Popcorn Talks. You guys have a great night. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about, DM it to us on Twitter or leave it in the review. However you want to do it. We do read everything we get. But you guys have a great day. Peace.